The material needed for this sewing tutorial is on the screen. I folded my material into four. The shorter part is the front part of it because of the fringe. Now I'm measuring out the shoulder line. The shoulder line is 8 inches. 8 inches. That is divided. The shoulder divided by 2 is 8 inches. After the shoulder, I'm going out to measure the neckline, which is 2.5 inches. When you open it, it will give you 5 inches. Okay, that is what I'm measuring now. Then you measure the full length where you want the sleeve to end. Then you measure out the front neckline. You drop your shoulder by 1 inch for the shoulder slope because our shoulder is slopey. Then you measure out 11 inches for the armhole where your sleeve is going to come out from. Then after that, you are going to impute your body measurement. The body measurement I'm using here for the bust is 11 inches. Then when you mark 11 inches, you're going to add 4 inches extra allowance. You use the bigger part of your body to draft out the measurement because all of them will be the same thing. Once you add the 4 inches allowance, you connect it to where you measure the armhole. When you connect it, you make a curve, so that when you cutting it and when sewing it, there will no budge on the armpit. You make a curve, a very smooth curve. Then after that, you mark all the measurements down to the down length of it. You mark all the measurements, mark them down, trace everything down. Then you cut out your material, cut it out. Okay, but before that, you measure out the shoulder, from your shoulder to your half length, you add 1 inch. That place is where you sew your pocket. The shoulder plus 1 inch. That is where you make a curve where you sew your pocket. Then you measure out your front neckline. Front neckline is 3 inches. Then you curve it out. That is what I'm doing there. You curve it out 3 inches downwards. But by the width is 2.5 for both front and back. Then the back own, to drop it down, is 2 inches. But the front own is 3 inches. We're not going to leave it at that. Remember that it's going to have a placket in the front. So we'll later come to that. Then you cut your material. Cut the ones. Make sure you cut to front back neckline. Don't cut the front own. We'll come back to the front own later. Make sure you notch the place for your pocket. Then you separate the two material, the back and the front. We are working on the front now. You place it very well. Make sure you align. Then you cut out the front neckline. After cutting out the front neckline, you make a straight cut from that front neckline down to 7 inches because we are going to add our placket to it. Cut it out. Then cut it out. And cutting it out. Yes. This right here is the placket. I measured 13 inches for the placket, 13 inches. Then the width is 4 inches. We're going to fold it into 2 and pin it. Then you sew and leave a space in between where you can turn it out from. After sewing, you turn it out from that place. Then you, after sewing, you open the tip of it, sew it straight. Then you turn it out from that opening that we left behind. You can see, as you can see, I finished sewing it. I'm turning it out. I finished turning it out. Then you iron it properly. Make sure you iron it flat. Iron it very well. Then you cut out the front facing so that you have a smooth neckline before adding the placket. Cut it out. Here is the front facing. Make sure it aligns. It's giving you the same thing. Trim out the excess, the remaining excess, you trim it out. as I'm doing. Then you open it, open your front panel, your front bodice, then place it very well. This is how you're going to sew. I'm showing you how you're going to sew it, front facing front. After sewing it, you turn it to the wrong side. You place the front on top of the front. After sewing, you turn it to the wrong side. That is what I'm showing you. Then you place your placket. Make sure that your placket is on the left side. The left side. Then after sewing it down, you're going to button it on the right side. Place it on the left side, sew it down, then you sew it and stop at that place that you make that notch, that cut. Then let's do it and come back. Now this one is the back neckline. I'm trimming it facing for the back neckline. Cut it very well, because without the facing it will not be smooth, and I don't want to use bias. I want to use facing so that it will be neat and smooth for your ready to wear outfit. I don't want to have a rough edges there. That is what I'm doing. Then you place it front facing front. Then you sew and turn over to the wrong side. Yes, let's do that. Then we are finished sewing the front own. We have added the placket. So use our pin and secure the placket on the clothes as we continue the sewing tutorial. Then you measure out the neckline. What I have is 6 inches there. So we'll use it and cut out the design on the neck. Then you measure the neck down to where you want it, the v-neck down to where you want it to stop. Mine is 18 inches. Then after marking the 3 inches, the 6 inches we got on the neck divided by 2 is giving us 3 inches, which I've already marked. Then I'm marking where the length will be. Then you make a V curve, V line from that 3 inches down to where you want it to be. Then you mark the other side. Mark to 2 inches allowance, 2.5 inches, sorry, 2.5 to 3 inches allowance on the other side. Then you stretch it down, V to the down part. Make a V line to the down of where the thing stop, so as to get that V something or U some. It depends on the design you want. Some are doing U, while some are doing V. To get that, you have to do it this way. Curve it slant it very well. Then you cut it out. Open it up. Then we're going to add our interfacing gum stair, light gum stair. You make a 1/2 inch notch at the upper part and the down part of the V, so that it will be easier for us to fold it with our hemming gum. So that's why sewing it will be easy for you to sew without the V neckline shifting and dancing. Now I'm trimming my hemming gum into 2 so that it will be easy for me to attach it to the V design. Okay, I'm attaching it with my iron. Put the hemming gum under and attach with your iron. I'll do the same to the other side and all the parts of it, all the parts. Attach your hemming gum so that when you place it, it will be easy for you to sew down. I've done that. This is what I'm showing you now. Now let me show you how to attach it on your clothes. The front part, you place it very well. Make sure it's very well placed on your clothes. The shoulders and lines, then where you want it to get to is very well placed. Then you measure 2 inches away from your neckline. That is what I did. 2 inches away from your neckline. Make sure both are the same. Then after getting that, use your pin to secure it. Secure with your pin so that while sewing, it will not move. This is how you sew it. You sew around that V. and the other parts. Make sure you sew it very well and neatly, but before you do that, you have to secure with your pin so it will not shift while sewing it. That's what I'm doing now. I'm securing my pin. I'm making sure that it's 2 inches, that I've not shifted. Yes. Then I'm adding my pin to it. Be careful while adding it. Make sure that it aligns. Make sure it aligns very well, so that there will be nothing like it shifted while sewing it, so that it will not give you another design. That is why I always like making use of my pin. In fact, my pin and myself, we are one. Pin everything down. Okay, we have come to the pocket. Cutting the pocket now. Now we're going to add the fold. This one is the remaining material. I'm folding it into 4 pieces. We'll get 4 pieces, 1 for left hand side, 2 for the left hand side, and 2 for right hand side. I've placed my hand on it to make sure that the space will enter my fingers. I've gone around to cut it round, trim the edges. This is a pocket. Now this is the back and the front. I'm placing the back on it. I use my facing to turn the front, the back facing to turn the front shoulder line. You can turn it to get a neat finishing. You sew down, then this one you turn and you sew down. Then let me show you how to attach your pocket. This is front facing front. Yes, you sew down. Then this other one front facing front, you sew down. That's how to attach your pocket. I've done attaching the pocket. I've done fixing the front design. I'm trying to show you how to attach your sleeve facing. After I've gone ahead to apply my what is it called, my gum stir on it. I've notched the middle point so that it will align with the sleeve seam. Then you pin it down. Make sure you pin it down so that it will not move. You pin it down, you sew straight down. That is front facing front. Then you turn it over to the wrong side. Then you fold with 1/2 inch and sew straight down. 1/2 inch to sew straight down. This is the wrong side now. Then let me show you how you're going to sew the side seam after attaching the sleeve facing. This is how you're going to sew it, plus the pocket side. You sew it down. Then you stop at that place where the front stop. Then you fold the front and sew. Fold the back and sew the tip of the front and back and sew. Then the excess of the back where the front stop, you're going to fold it inside and sew down before we attach our fringe. Make sure you stop at that place where the front stops. Then I've gone ahead to sew the side down. I've sewed the side down. Then the back, I've sewn it down. The front also, I've done that. So I'll show you how to attach your fringe after turning it. You fold your fringe into 2 because I have 2 yards of fringes there. So I'm folding it into 2 so that it will be fuller, because the single will not be as full as that. After folding it, I'm going to pin it from under the material. I'm going to top stitch on the material after pinning the fringes from under the material. That's what I'm doing. This is the finished look. Subscribe.